Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. How's it going? So, today I am playing epic mini games. However, I don't play long. This video isn't as long as my last one. My last one seemed so incredibly long, especially having to speak through 20 something minutes. That was ridiculous. This one's only around 10, so I'm very grateful. But today I'm going to be sharing my first story time. So my first story time is going to be about my worst manager experience ever, and I would love to hear other people's opinions and other people's experiences as well. So let's get started. My worst manager experience would have to be, we can call him J, just because his name starts with the letter J. We'll call him J. Manager J. Manager J, when I first met him, he was not that bad, actually. He wasn't. However, he got worse over time. He was just super lazy, a really lazy person, which doesn't work if you're working in a retail setting, just because there's things that do have to get done. And, all hands on deck. Everybody has to help. So that was the biggest issue that we faced while having him. And it was really hard working with him. We definitely got into some arguments. I know some other people got into some arguments with him as well. He was just so hard-headed. It was either it was always he was right, or it was always, oh, this hurts, or I'm sick, or whatever. Every week he came up with a new excuse on why he couldn't work. One of the most ridiculous ones has to be that he got a cut on his finger, and he said that he could not get fish and he could not get crickets because of the cut on his finger. It was ridiculous, and I'm so surprised that my manager allowed him to come up with every excuse in the book and allowed him to treat everyone the way that he treated us. It was ridiculous. And, I had a lot of problems with him. We got into a very heated argument. I actually have, in my state, I am allowed to record a conversation if I am in the conversation without the other party knowing. So my state is okay with that. Some states you do need their permission to record them. However, my state is not one of those states. So I ended up recording our conversation. He was very aggressive toward me. He started yelling at me. And, I did not come to work to be yelled at. Definitely not. Especially when I've been there 3 years longer than you. I'm younger than you, and I work way harder than you do. You do not have the right to come over to me and yell at me and say the most ridiculous things to me. And that day I left early without his permission. And, I got into an argument with my boss about that. And I had to stand my ground because there was no way that I was going to be treated in that manner. But luckily, his boss, the boss that threatened me to fire me, his boss said, "You're not going to fire her because I do my work, I do my part, and the big boss, he likes me." So I'm very grateful for him. If it was another manager, I probably would have been kicked out. But I swear, I'm not disrespectful to people whatsoever. It's just with him, he really pushed my buttons. He really didn't do his part. I remember the cashier asking for help. It was just very chaotic that day, and it was me and the cashier working by ourselves. We had no manager to help us because he was in the office on his phone. It I don't even have words. I'm so astonished by the person that he is. And he called out 3 times this week. My boss had to work 6 days this week because this man called out, and he makes up every medical excuse under the sun. And I called him out for his medical excuse, which is not good. I think I can get sued for that, maybe. But my boss is like, he never brought me a doctor's note. And my boss is older than he is. My boss does so much work than he does. Yet this man, he sits in the office and he plays on his phone on the clock. Would your job allow such behavior? Probably not. I don't think so. At least I hope. And if that's the case, I'm not sure. Maybe there's something wrong with. If it's a retail job, I'm not sure about other jobs. But this man seems like he needs to be working in not in a retail facility. He needs to be working an office job where he's able to actually sit down if he truly has any medical issues that he's facing. But jobs, I suppose they're scarce or something at this point. Even though I'm pretty sure that's not true. I think last year for a class I had to do research about that, and I'm pretty sure even though unemployment is at an all-time high, there's also a lot of jobs at the moment. But then again, like I said, I don't know what it is now with the president that we have now, so that's something else to think about. Also, if you hear background noises, that's my brother watching TV downstairs on the loudest volume. I literally want to take him and I want to oh my god, I can't with him. I asked him to put the volume down and he refuses. What kind of a brother does that? Yeah, if that was me, I would have to put the volume down. I would have no choice. I would have to. But when I ask him to do something, it's totally okay if he doesn't do it. That's not fair. But life's not fair. Anyways, this manager, he and I got into an argument, and I don't think I'm gonna put it in this video. If I choose to retell the story, then I will put it in the video, just because, like I said, this is my second video, and I don't even know how to put in clips from a video to prove that he was yelling at me. It was just, I don't even know how to describe it. He's so lazy. And he has a partner in crime. She has a boyfriend. She has a baby with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend's 10 years younger than her. If the roles were reversed, that would be a huge problem. But they be flirting with each other. And my boss was like, that's disgusting. He told me that this week, he goes, they were flirting and it was disgusting. I've never heard this man say this disgusting before. My boss is one of the sweetest people on planet Earth. Like the big boss, not the boss under him that threatened to fire me. He is the sweetest man I have ever met. I've never heard him say the word disgusting in the 3 years I've been working here. And he was like, that it was disgusting, and the way that he said it was hilarious. I was dying. But I do have to talk about this coworker because I don't know her personally, but I know her boyfriend and her boyfriend's family personally. When I found out that he was her baby's father, I was like, oh my god, I know all of them. I know all the siblings in that family. I've never met the parents, but I've seen the parents before, and I used to hang out with this family often, so that was crazy. But anyways, yeah, this manager, I didn't get to say a lot about him. Maybe I'll make a part 2 just explaining specific things that he would do. He just wouldn't help people. He wouldn't do truck. When you get, if you work in a store, you get truck and everybody has to put it away. He wouldn't help. He would just stand and walk around the store for hours. He has to order his lunch at a certain time so he can eat it and get the lunch special. And there's just, like I said, there's so much more about him that I could say. I would have to write down a list of things and just explain every single situation that we were put through as employees. Can you believe it that I was put through this? But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. And have a good one.